There it is. Get this right. Let's get this right. Let's fix that. I ain't gonna let that drive me crazy tonight. Welcome, 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 good people of the Midnight Family and Card Nation. Welcome to a beautiful, beautiful night. Red State starts us off right with Dominated. What's going on, good people? Oh, man. Miami, Clemson, what are you doing? Florida State, what are you doing? Brenda Sue, great win today. Oh, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson. Cashmere in the building, what's good? Ross Whitaker in the building, what's good? The world is, everything's right with the world again. Of course, we got the lovely Lady Lauren keeping these YouTube streets safe. Oh, Clemson. I know. How did they pull that off? South Carolina. Ooh. At some point, we will get... Just in time, you're just now getting in here. Where you been at? you got the busy life though. West End 6-7 in the building. John, what's good? Wesley Keys in the building. Let's go. Bring the Governor Cup home where it belongs. We could have easily put up a number. I agree. We could have easily put up a number. Oh, let me get a good stretch in. Let me turn down that music a little bit too in the background. I don't want that mushing up everything. Let me see. Just making sure I didn't have to change anything on the Zoom or the toggle or anything. Let me see. That feels about right. That feels about natural. Hold on, where did we leave off at? Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Let me jump to the bottom. Oh, and they played well together. Oh, all we do is win. That's definitely going to be a Monday morning thing. Ooh, yeah. I can't play All I Do Is Win on the night show because UMG, they'll tear me up. Kelly Martinez in the building. What you doing, girl? James Pennington, we got to get a little bit out of there. Where is Dr. Crump at? You think SMU will smack Clemson? Duke and Watson, ooh, they both run hard too. So what do you think? Yeah, I know. I knew that. I knew that for sure. Put on an all proceeds concert. Listen, Harlow's people would kill him for doing that. Harlow's management team might kill him for doing that. Oh, do you pay the running backs or do you pay for more linemen? I know. That's a hard thing not to, Cashmere, it's a hard thing not to go back to. Oh, smoking on that Stoops pack. Where is he at? Where is he at? Hold on. Where is he at? Boom. Where is he at? I know he's in here somewhere. Where you at, Coach? Where you at, Coach? Where you at, Coach? Coach. Listen, Coach, I feel you. You still getting paid. Coach, you still getting paid. You getting paid top dollar. If I were you, I wouldn't even trip. They can't fire you. 4 wins don't matter. You just hit the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. I can't believe they changed quarterbacks at the end of the year. Who's 7? My bad, cool guy Don. I got caught up. in the excitement. Look, we gotta get him out of here. That's enough for Coach. Cool guy Don. Cheers. I appreciate you. Ooh. Okay, so Red State, you're gonna have to help me out. Our seniors definitely needed this win. Here's what I got to do. Everybody knows if you're watching this on Facebook, come join us on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is made for the Ville. I even posted the link. Facebook, if you're watching this, come on over here to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is made for the Ville. Come kick it with the Midnight family. We can get into the details that is this Kentucky win. Grading segment, of course. Do we need a giveaway? Maybe we'll do a giveaway too. We'll see. But yes, Made for the Ville. MADEFORTHEVILLE. And people, you can feel free to post this show link on any pages, but I gotta shut down the Facebook and the Twitter. And it might get vulgar. So I don't want my family members to see the vulgarities, the celebration vulgarity. So Twitter, I got to shut you down. Facebook, I got to shut you down. Red State, there y'all are. There you are, Cool Guy 9. West End, there you are. Appreciate it, Robert. Facebook, you got to go in 3, 2, 1, bang. Twitch, got to shut you down in 3, 2, 1, bang. Twitter, how do I? Twitter, we got to shut you down in 3, but you're more than welcome to join us on Made for the Ville, the YouTube channel. 3, 2, 1, bang. Okay, so most of y'all was already in here. Okay, cool. The rumor is Barry Brown from UK wants to come to Louisville. Would that surprise you? You see how Brooks is looking. You see how Playmakers is looking. Chris Bell is looking. Which one? Okay. Yep. Sorry. I didn't know that. Make them deal with it. Oh, first and foremost, just athlete for athlete. Didn't we look like we just had bigger, better, faster, stronger players out there? Was it just me, or did it look like we just had the better talent all over the field? That's the first thing I was pumped about. And you go 100% agree with you. Nobody would have guessed. I didn't see. Look, that's funny. I didn't see Thor get ejected. Oh, James, it's all good. I'll shoot him the link. I make no promises, but the link is sent. There you go. Boom. Yeah, I know. We had the better team. We had the better staff. We had the better upside potential for the next 4 years. All that good stuff. It'd be very, very difficult for me to be convinced otherwise. You know what I'm saying? No way you could convince me otherwise. Okay. Okay. I just tried to look at the other YouTube channel. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Did you think you were gonna hit Chris Bell and just knock him out of bounds? At 3-4D will work. Worked for almost 300 yards, no adjustments, and we capitalized. Man, I'm telling you, man, that kick out block going to the left, boy, didn't even have to change directions. That was a fun game. The crowd, listen, we brought a fan base to that one, didn't we? Listen, did you hear the defense chants in their stadium? Did you hear the roar when Duke Watson was running up that sideline? Is Big Dog in the transfer portal? Listen, Steve always talks about Big Dog in the transfer portal. House. Actually, they said that in the post game. They were like, once they see the DBs, they say it's not too many DBs going to catch them. Yeah, they were actually talking about that. Johnny Grenade, you were there? I'm just bouncing around a bit. Let me see. Let me make sure. Did Miami really lose the set? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. So this is what I'll do. We can do this really quick. Cody, I guess you can turn me up a little bit. Cody, cheers, cheers, cheers. I appreciate you supporting the channel. No bowl for Satterfield again. Johnny Grenade said I was in the building. Larry Whitaker says great win. Tremendous win. Brahma Nation. Hold on. Having a great time on the road at the game. I hope everybody got home nice and safe with no speeding tickets or any of that good stuff. Oh, yeah, started celebrating too early. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because listen, I don't even react during games. I don't tweet during games or anything. So for me to even tweet during the game means I was extremely confident. Thursday on ESPN. Oh yeah, he knew it. It's not a rivalry without a wrong. The Brahmin Wealth is back. Was there any dust ups? It got a little chippy at the very end, but there weren't really any dust ups, were there? Right? Ooh, don't be so sure about that. After our Bahamas trip, I wouldn't be so sure about that. 41-14 looks damn good. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Larry Whitaker in the building. Cheers. In all aspects, national champion, in all aspects, they made us proud. Well, Dr. Patel, from New Horizons Foot and Ankle Associates, Dr. Patel thinks it might be just a hyperextension, which would make sense. Like I said, when you get that happen to your knee, to me, he looked more scared than in pain. And he looked like he didn't want to put any pressure on it. So it just looked like he was scared, in my opinion. I don't know, but Dr. Patel posted about it looking kind of like a hyperextension. Ooh. This state trooper me mugging at the gas station. That's what I'm saying. Listen, Lightning M. And here's the good part about it. The coaches are going to matter more than ever now. The coaches are going to matter more than ever now. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. You're talking about the Michigan, Ohio State. I thought you were talking about our game. Sorry about that. I thought you were talking about our game. I think Shuck does. I don't think Brooks does. I don't think Brooks does. 5 years first grade. I'm surprised they didn't get this pepper spray like the OSU after Michigan thumped them. Ooh. Oh, it'll be the demise. It'll be the complete demise. Did JJ Weber throw a punch? I didn't see that. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know pepper spray came out. Rip Lou Carneseca. Okay, I didn't know that. Any word on pride? No official word yet. They supposed to be, but God, we had a chance to rewrite the narrative so much with Clemson and Georgia Tech. Well, see, the Georgia Tech thing, that was bullshit. They got cheated. Wait till basketball, right? The Georgia Tech thing was robbery. Praying he's okay. Yeah, he's really right. He just brings too much to the table, man, to lose him. Yeah, if that's real, then he's on his way out. Ramon per year was awesome. He's been awesome since he got on the field. Rip Father Bradley. Listen, if that's not official word, then don't put it in the chat, please. If you got official word, then it's cool. Or if you got real deal knowledge, because I don't like to be the source of. I don't like to be the source of gossip. In the blog space, there's a clear difference in class between the two programs. It was such a great TV product when we done something. Listen, I'm gonna keep on going back to that. I'm gonna, on tonight. Okay. MRI is supposed to be Monday. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to be in the chats as a source of information. No, listen, Cody, the product of that win is most important. You know what I'm saying? And the way Coach Brom spread the ball, although I will say, God, when the trick plays don't work, when the Coach Brom trick plays don't work, I go insane. Golly, they should have beat South Carolina. I thought Ja'Cory Brooks did play. I just didn't think he got a lot of I just didn't think Ja'Cory Brooks got touches. Capers, listen. TJ Capers, he should have got that Amari Huggins Bruce goal line pass. Did he not play at all? Yeah. You got to back that up a little bit. Yeah, I thought Brooks played. I just thought he didn't get touches. I'm not thinking of TJ Capers. Who's my receiver? I'm sorry, I'm not thinking of TJ Capers. Who's my receiver from who was the LSU decommit. He started coming in for AHB. What's his name? Who's the receiver that started picking up plays over Amari? Katarius Hicks. Yeah, look, Dewan, I know what you're saying. Look, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. We just beat Kentucky. The what if conversation will drive you insane. Look, I might have been thinking JoJo Stone at first, but really Katarius Hicks is who I meant. But I do appreciate it, Brian. I was thinking JoJo Stone, but Katarius Hicks was the guy getting the touches. Run game was strong. I know. And again, we didn't. I mean, why put Shuck in a position? I mean, the pass protection was awesome too. And Stone kept. Yeah, right. I knew you were right. Fight night all over. Listen, when you get to the rivalries are the only thing that still matters in the NIL era. Yeah. It was Hicks. Yeah, I was surprised that Amari Hugginbruce got that shot on the goal line. I thought Katarius Hicks would be getting that. Better season with the worst record. Listen, you know how I do, people. You know how I do with the hypotheticals. And you know good and well, if I would have told you you're going to beat Clemson in Clemson, you're going to beat Kentucky in Kentucky, you're going to lose a nail biter to Notre Dame at Notre Dame, you're going to lose a nail biter to an undefeated Miami or a conference type championship Miami at home, a nail biter. Notre Dame nail biter on the road, Miami nail biter at home. The only games you would have just said, no, I can't have is the Stanford game. If I told you SMU would be in the playoffs and you would lose a nail biter, you'd be pissed about that. The Stanford would just be the only unacceptable game. But you would give a lot to beat Clemson on the road in the early season. I'm talking on the early season, preseason. If you making your deals with the sports gods, you would have to give up something to beat Clemson in Clemson and Kentucky in Kentucky. You got to give up something to the sports gods. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Facts. 5 years of frustrating over. And then you still got a bowl game. Are we going to totally lose? Are we going to totally lose our running backs coach? Right. 12-1 after Clemson. Yeah, I think Clemson will bust them. I don't love SMU. Yeah. When you're watching them improve, dominant win, chef's kiss to the O-line performance. I hope, like I said, I almost wanted when I was watching the two running backs up there after the game. I wished that I wish the line had been invited as a group to come in there and hold on, y'all. I'm gonna bring in Twitter for a couple seconds. I wish the line would have been able to go into the presser and have their individual flowers given to them. Because that, like I said, that's a big time. Again, you watching the game and you remember when they gave Georgia all that trouble, you were like, uh-oh. When they gave Ole Miss all that trouble, you're like, uh-oh. And when they gave Texas that trouble at the beginning, and Vandy, who beat Alabama, and you're watching Vandy struggle with Kentucky. And after this game, you're like, y'all struggle with that? I got Louisville fans right now. We all thinking the same thing. Georgia, you struggle with them? Ole Miss, you couldn't beat them? Florida, Florida busted them. And South Carolina busted them. And you got to think, we wasted Clemson. So when you see it all, you're like, wait a minute. Y'all beat Ole Miss. You damn near beat Georgia. And you're stuck with Texas. That Kentucky team? We could play 10 more times. That Kentucky team's not beating us at all. Great dominant win. Oh, that's nasty work for that Kentucky record. No, what'd he say, Chris? No. What'd he say? I almost feel like I gotta go check and see if ESPN Louisville posted something. Let me hear that. Let me hear that Kentucky Fish and Wildlife post game. Hold on. Where's that post game? I know it better be there it is. There it is. What y'all think? A little post game or a little Brom? You tell me. Little Kentucky post game, little Brom. What you think? Order has been restored. It shouldn't be this last year. There he is. Dr. Crump in the building. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Where you been at, Doc? Right. And I don't think I think we just came to play. I don't think we did anything different, played over our heads. We just played our sound. Oh, he said post. Ain't going straight for the post. Oh, is that what he said? Macro says Brom first. Of course. Of course we do. We want talent. I already saw Brom. Okay. We'll see if I can get there real quick. Boom. Let's see. Present. Boom. Well, I love that
Time
beat.
for the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife UK basketball postgame
Oh,
show
no.
on ESPN 680
Oh,
and
no.
1057. Coverage of Wildcats basketball.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Is that what you snuck in there? Yeah. Did y'all try to sneak that in here? Ah, so they look, is that the move y'all pulled? You didn't post a football post game show? Okay, let me close everything down and set it up. Okay, I got Braun right there. Let me go. Yes. Guess I should have the company. I guess I should have the company. No. Where's that UK? I mean, did they do a joint show or something? Did anybody listen? Coors Light post game show. Oh, did they just hold on? Okay. Is that today? Hold on. 11:30. Okay, this might be it. Y'all. Hold on. We'll dump it in a second. Present share. Okay, we'll go a little additional programming.
It's time to move on, and I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to see the sit down press conference with Mitch Barnhart where they're holding hands and talking kumbaya. They're gonna ride into the offseason and fix this. It's not gonna happen, guys. It's time to move on, and I'm interested to see what the fans have to say.
Well, we'd love to hear from you. This is the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife UK postgame show. Call on in.
Okay, I had to pause it just so I can give the obligatory cheers, Card Nation. It's a great day to be a Cardinal. And thank you for supporting the channel, good people. Dr. Krupp, cheers.
And 502-267-9680 or the UPS Jobs text line 502-437-9680. Either one will work. The texters are letting us know. And, hold on. We have to just take a moment. We are in misery. Not even purgatory. We are in hell. Purgatory would be a blessing at this point. Zach Cantrell hasn't even looked at us. Not even made eye contact with us. Granted, I was late. It's on me.
No, I did get off X, but I got back on for a second.
The first UK UL game I haven't been to in 20 plus years. Which
I was giving Twitter a chance to jump back in and just join us for a second. I can see it's a lot of people watching from Twitter right now. So if you're watching this on Twitter, we got to go back to the private meeting. So Twitter, you can click on the link, the YouTube link, and come join us at Made for the Ville, MadeForTheVille. Made for the Ville. Come join us. But Twitter, I got to set you back down in 3, 2, 1. Come join us. Bang. Okay. We're back good. Hold on. 300-pound defensive lineman. I know. Yep. You definitely got to do that. New member, cheers. Ryan Carpenter, cheers. I always love the new members coming in. Ryan Carpenter, welcome. Looking forward to have you in as a nightly contributor. Cheers.
Which is devastating for me, and it's probably the reason UK lost. Just kidding. I've seen tons of UVL wins in person. This one doesn't really change that. However, Zach, what is going on here? 20-point favorites. There's 35 seconds left. Ohio State's got the ball. He's never going to be my friend again after this one.
Is Zach
Are you in hell right now, buddy?
Hopefully this is hell, because if it can get any worse, jeez.
It's going to change your religion.
Not looking good, Zach. Not looking good, man.
No, we're in our own personal hell. Again, I can't state it enough. I had a feeling this exact thing was going to happen tonight for Kentucky football, because why wouldn't? What had you seen at any point this season, with the exception of the Ole Miss game, but even then, that was a defensive effort that just will go down in the history books, and understandably and rightfully so.
Chris,
but
100%.
What had anybody seen to think that UK could beat a competent football team? and you can say whatever you want about Louisville, but they are a competent football team. They're a good football team. And whoever thought that Kentucky just snapped their fingers and all of a sudden play good football against a good team? UVL was more hungry. They had the better quarterback. They had the better running backs, but I thought the offensive line was at least somewhat debatable. And UK ran the ball just fine. I don't think rushing was an issue for the Cats, but the series seems to benefit who runs the ball better.
Absolutely.
Louisville had 2 100-plus rushers. I mean, just embarrassing stuff from UK's defensive front there. You can just go down the checklist, Brandon, and Kentucky was just outmatched in every facet of the game.
I think the biggest hope going into this game was that Cutter Boley was going to come in and just be awesome and come in and lead us to a win and
this is a
potentially bring some momentum going into the offseason.
Marcus
We learned pretty quickly in this one that wasn't going to happen. Cutter just did not look comfortable out there, and he made freshman mistakes. He's a true freshman, and he just, putting him in first start against your arch rival, he just didn't have it tonight. So a lot of that hope momentum is gone now.
They better work hard. That's the job.
Fundraising into the Cutter Boley basket, but no, I think this team just checked out. You saw it from the jump that this team just did not look like they had a lot of fight left in them, and that's sad, because that's one of the things that Kentucky fans can point to in this rivalry is even some of these years where we come into this game with not a great record, they still come and fight, and Stoops teams tend to be tough-nosed teams that they come in and make the other team earn it, and this
Hunter,
was this team
was that your hope?
Looked like they gave up early in the first half, and it was just
Hunter was going to save you
after that.
That was a huge disappointing thing about today. If people want to get into the X's and O's, which they probably do not, they probably just want to talk about the future of UK football. But you go into the second quarter and Kentucky's down 7-0. Played horrible that first quarter. I mean, couldn't have really been that much worse. You're down 7-0. Okay, wake up. Just wake up. Second quarter, again, you hold them to a field goal, and you're like, yeah. I see where this is going, but just wake up. Louisville looks better, but just wake up. You never know. And then they get that touchdown to make it 17-0, and you think at that point it's pretty much over.
Kentucky's first 2 runs of the game could have easily been touchdowns.
Just a strip on a very routine run. Wasn't like the ball got popped in the wrong spot. You're getting tackled. Yeah. Hold on to the football.
Yeah, it's freshman mistake. Yeah.
And you want to, on the one hand, say, well, the coaches aren't to be blamed for that, and maybe they're not to be blamed for it. When you have so many goofs and you have so many mistakes throughout the entire season, whether it's offense, defense, special teams,
Streams is going to be funny.
Offensive line, you just name it, and it's just a bad football team. You all, it's a bad football team, and they are poorly
Is
coached,
this your
and it's
team?
not going to get better if Mark Stoops comes back next year.
Georgia,
And again,
you almost
you
lost
could hang
to
your head
this?
on being able to beat your rival, and this is the year
Ole
where
Miss, you almost lost
didn't
to
beat
this?
your rival. They pummeled you, and you wonder where the future of the rivalry is going.
Vandy,
and the final score,
Alabama couldn't
41-14.
beat
That's a
Vandy
little misleading
this?
because it seemed like it was a lot worse than that. This game could have easily been 65-14. The way
He has his
Louisville
type.
was
Listen,
just running the
he
ball
has his
well there in the
choice
second
now.
half. So yeah, it's absolutely embarrassing. I don't know how. And I touched on this at the very beginning of the show. I just don't know how you salvage any of this. Like if Stoops does indeed come back,
let me just go get a refill,
Barnhart's
good
gonna run
people.
it back one more year with Stoops.
But
I don't
enjoy
know how
the
you
show.
convince anybody to buy season tickets
Give me-
next year. I don't know how you convince
give me
anybody
90
to be
seconds.
excited for.
I
the
would not
beginning
get
of
a
next
season ticket.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't. Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like probably about $500. That's assuming you're getting off pretty easy. That is not taking into consideration concessions or parking, assuming you don't have a parking pass. You throw a parking pass into the fold, and you're talking about an entirely different animal.
And we've talked so much about the $44 million that it would cost to get rid of Stoops.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost this athletic department with the loss in ticket sales, the loss of attendance at these games? I think after this one, we need to start considering that because you're going to take a big hit if you go into this offseason and you don't change anything. And we've already heard Stoops planning to run it back with Bush Hamden. What changes is he going to make other than going to the transfer portal to try to go get some more talent? And we saw we didn't really take a big L in the transfer portal last year. This was made some big swings, and we saw that didn't turn out. So is there any faith that Stoops can go into this offseason and change this roster in the transfer portal? I have no hope in that at all.
That's my big issue, Brandon, is that if there was something that you could hang your hat on and think that the future was going to be brighter, you'd be totally cool with it. You're not there. Yeah. We were there going into this year. Last year wasn't great. People forget that.
Yeah.
You beat Louisville, which was a top 10 win, but you felt better. That was a weird game because you felt like you were better than them going in.
Nope,
all the records and resumes in Vegas said that they were better than you. But you beat them, and UK fans felt like you should have beat them.
Yeah,
they were happy
zero
because
penalties.
of all the numbers that went with the game, and that was enough for an otherwise underwhelming season. This year, even if he had won the game, which you didn't come close when you lose by 27 points, you goobers, you didn't come close. But had you even won this game, I don't think fans would have just snapped their fingers and said, I'm back in.
He hadn't even hit his stride.
I think people would have said, all right,
easily.
I love that. This is a lot of fun. We're going to celebrate this for a little while. You're still not the guy.
Yeah.
2025 is still going to be bad. They would have said that exact thing had Kentucky won the game. They didn't. They got crushed.
They fought
and
and
now
got better.
I think Kentucky fans just know that Mark Stoops doesn't have the chops. He just does not have the chops to be able to get this thing turned around. We wanted so badly, Brandon, to just have to go into this game feeling like you had a chance, and you're down 20-0 at halftime. 20-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
For the folks that showed up in 23-degree weather, you had nothing for them at all, and you got punked in your home stadium for the first time since 2017, for the first time since 2014, a U of L team without Lamar Jackson being the quarterback beats you. Just embarrassing stuff. Like,
Georgia wasn't supposed to win.
The season was bad. This rivalry game at the end of the year, which was your little light at the end of the tunnel, awesome. That was bad. Embarrassing stuff all around. And I don't want to say stuff. I want to say another word, but we're on radio.
This was supposed to be Stoops' redemption season
so
this year. This was supposed to be the season where he showed us all that he still had it. He still had his fastball, and he could come in here and get his roster right. So,
thank you for
like,
supporting
3
the
years of this, like, we've come now full circle. Like, he has taken this program back to close to where it was where he had it. So, like, I mean, you can't argue that a 4-win season is just a regular decline. Like this, there were so many games this season that you just lost because of bad coaching. You just lost because you didn't have your team prepared. So it's not necessarily talent. We talked about all offseason how this was one of the most talented rosters we'd ever had on paper. I don't know if I believe that now at this point, but still, you had
I hope not.
You had a lot of talent on this team, and there was no excuse to only win 4 games. And Yeah, it feels like we've come
Coach,
full circle. It feels like
are
this
you
is
going to
the end of an era.
bankrupt UK?
But do we have any type of administration or anybody in our administration
Coach,
that
are
is
you gonna
brave enough to pull the
bankrupt
plug
UK?
and figure out how to move on from this? I'm not sure if we have that, if I'm being honest.
Yep, I think a lot of people are going to agree with that. We want to go to the phone lines here on the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife UK postgame show. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Total beatdown in the Governor's Cup. Louisville finally gets off the schneid and beats UK 41-14. UK had been delivering blowouts in this rivalry, and Louisville wastes no time when capable to be able to hand it right back to the Cats. And I agree with Brandon. It even could have been worse. That being said, let's go to the phone lines. Gary, what's up? Thanks for calling in. I hope you're having a better Saturday than me.
Yeah, there's that conversation.
Well, I'm not.
Later on in the week.
This was a joke, man. I mean, it's one thing to get beat by Louisville because they do have a pretty good team. They got a really good offense, and but to be embarrassed like this, I mean, it's
our
embarrassing.
Defense locked you down. What do you mean?
Offensively and defensively, and as for all the defensive kudos we gave this defense this year, which it has been a good defense, but the last few games, but I can see, I think they kind of quit. I think they've just kind of quit. But
they've been at the lounge.
They got them back in the game today. Made it 20-7. Got them back in the game. We turned the ball over again. I mean, we turned the ball over right off the bat after the 2 or 3 long runs we had. That's when the tone was set for the entire day.
Right.
But anyway, it's embarrassing display. Like I said, offensively and defensively, and
don't
the
watch
guys'
my
house
life.
needs to be cleaned. It needs to be cleaned.
Yeah, you're right.
We're back to being a pathetic program.
A 20-minute
game. Doormat again. Thank goodness for the basketball.
Gary, let me ask you this: you're a D1. Gary, hold on, real quick. You're a D1 running back, and you're carrying the ball in the SEC. Where, like, if you do well in this conference, you're going to be a professional running back. And then you let your biggest rival just take the ball from you straight up. You're not even being taken to the ground. You're not even – it's not like somebody came in and punched it, not a helmet came in on a weird spot and it popped out. You're running the football, and you let your biggest rival come and say, you know what, I'd like that thing. You don't mind if I take that, do you? And then they take it from you. That is unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Yes. Yeah, it's this team, guys. This team has been poorly coached all year.
Tamarian McDonald
has no discipline whatsoever. I mean, you see
Debo.
all the penalties this team's had this year.
Tamarian Debo McDonald.
We're back to being, like I said, we're back to being the doormat of the SEC. We're back to old Kentucky football. That's where we're at. And if Mitch Barnhart doesn't see it, I don't. But now, financially, I don't know how it's going to be swung or how they can work it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I know it's a big buyout, but you know what? One of these days, old Mitchie, though, one of these days.
No, it's never happening. It's not. I'm sorry. I wish.
Not to be given.
Gary, you would think if you give people $44 million contracts twice in the biggest sports, the revenue sports, twice, you're owed $40 million that you want so desperately to get out of. And Mitch Barnhart he gets to skate on both of them. Who cares? Teflon Mitch Barnhart. He is untouchable. I don't know if the entire board of trustees is the Baptist choir at his church or whatever it may be, but oh my goodness, Mitch Barnhart can do no wrong. And I don't even care. Like, you can make a case that, like, hey, Mitch has done a lot of good things, and he has, but he gets no blame for this predicament that UK football's in, which is the exact same predicament UK basketball was in 7 months ago, which was all caused because of one person, Mitch Barnhart. All right, I'm sorry, Gary.
We got saved in basketball because Calipari screwed up on that one. He was trying to make a play there, but that's another story, and that's in the past. And I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad we got Pope, and thank God for basketball season. But I'll tell you what, fellas. I'm not going to lie to you.
Until we bust you.
I'm glad this was the last game because I am sick and tired of looking at pukey, pathetic. I mean, that offense, and guys, that offensive line could not block a high school team pass protection. I mean, they couldn't pass protect for a high school team. I mean, we give it down to talk about the quarterbacks, but they've had the hell beat out of them this year. I mean, they've literally had the hell beat out of them. It's terrible. I'm glad it's over with. I hate, at least if we could have been competitive, but we couldn't have been competitive today. And that's what really stinks more than anything. So, if you can't see that the program is it's been headed in the wrong direction the last 2 to 3 years, changes have got to be made, or we're going to be worse. Like I said, guys, I told you just a few weeks ago, we're going to be worse next year than we are this year. The way things are looking. But anyway, I'm going to get off here and let somebody else on. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good one.
Yeah, Gary, thanks for calling in. And I agree. I think this program is at a true crossroads right now. I think Mitch Barnhart has created a contract situation where it's going to be tough to get out of it. It's going to be tough to figure out how you move on if Stoops is not your coach next year. So, the next few years of college football are going to be so essential to the future of every program. And if you do not have the correct coach in place to go in and win NIL and to win the transfer portal, you're going to fall so far behind. It's going to be hard to climb out of that hole. So you are at a crossroads right now. Do you want to keep going down that same path that you're on right now and hope that a coach that has already checked out, that looks like he maybe has 1 or 2 more seasons left before he's probably looking to retire? Do you want to ride it out with him in one of the most important, 3 years of college football coming up? Or do you want to finally take a shot at somebody new, somebody fresh that is going to bring in new ideas, that's going to go and try to win NIL, that's going to try to take advantage of the transfer portal? You have that opportunity right now. And yeah, I'm with you. I don't see this team doing anything next year. I mean, they're going to take a hit just on talent alone, just from the talent on paper. You're going to take a hit. You're going to be playing a lot more underclassmen next year unless you go and just completely revamp your roster with the transfer portal. So yeah, it is going to be a lot harder to win next year with this current roster. Ooh. So I just don't see how, even if you were one of these few fans that were holding on to a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism about Stoops turning this around after this game today, and after
that's going to be off season. You wait till the off season to have that conversation.
Competing with.
That's the way I think about it.
What hope do you have left? What hope do you have for next year, for the future under Mark Stoops?
Where you been at, Christian?
If you're one of these people that are just, that are going to support Stoops just because he's the winningest coach in the history of college football,
Stoops
you got to take a step back. You
got
to take a step back and say,
Stoops can't be stopped now.
Even at Kentucky is not good enough. It is not good enough, especially when there is no other program in the SEC that would bring back their coach after this performance if it wasn't a huge buyout like it is. So you have to go take a step now. You cannot wait until this thing completely bottoms out, and then you're left trying to rebuild this thing for years to come.
Well said. It really does. It's as simple as that. Do you believe Mark Stoops gets this turned around? Do you believe Mark Stoops is the guy that gets UK in the conversation for the college football playoff? If your answer to that question is no, which it obviously should be,
Arkansas.
Then what are we doing? And your answer may be, well, you're dreaming if you think that the college football playoff is obtainable.
Great Thanksgiving week.
Are you kidding me? They couldn't even find a team to play in the SEC championship game this year. Texas and Texas A&M it's a play-in game. Kentucky could have been there. The other team that's locked in was Georgia, who you had beat if you didn't have such a lame duck coach to be able to go beat them. A&M, Texas. You went down there and you had a quarterback that didn't play well didn't play well today, but played well in that game, which I don't understand how they could look so drastically different offensively. And I think it was just some of those close throws, which come down to just a millisecond. It worked in Austin, didn't work today.
Yeah.
Oh, Tuesday at the Yum.
Just behind a millisecond. It was behind probably a whole second. And
Louisville
capitalized. I don't want to take any credit away at all from U of L. They were much hungrier. You could tell they wanted this game more. I thought it was easy money on a 4-point spread for this game if you had watched these teams this season. Yes, the U of L game against Stanford was bad, but they were up 14 points in that game. They should have won that game. And they won at Clemson, and Kentucky did win at Ole Miss. But what do they do in all the other ones? Louisville just was a much more consistent,
good weekend, Anthony.
More disciplined football team. And Kentucky was a train wreck. They were a train wreck all year.
Raid
you live with that. And it stinks, but I'm sorry. If you're a UK fan and you didn't see this one coming, you haven't been paying attention.
Brom is going to raid the
like
portal.
A train wreck. You couldn't, or car wreck if you're on the road and you just can't move away from it.
Deion Sanders.
That's what this Governor's Cup was. You could see it coming. You didn't want it to happen.
Brom is going to raid.
To their credit, 2017 a long time ago. They wanted things to be different. They went out there and they made them different. This UK season has been a nightmare. We wanted things to be different. Mark Stoops went out there and did the exact same thing. Ryan, what's up? Welcome in to the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife UK postgame show. We're not happy. Hopefully you're in a better mood.
Thanks for not taking my call. And I see they need to get rid of Stoops. They probably don't want to do it, but the program's never going to get better. Just like you all said, he's had his chance. He had some good seasons, but it come down to Cal. Cal, like Terry or Jerry said, that Cal, made himself. He could have got a lifetime, money out of him and all that, but he messed up trying to get more money, get his son hired. Stoops needs to step. I mean, not Stoops, but Mitch Barnhart or somebody up there, if he don't want to do it, needs to replace Stoops. And I don't know who they did, but they said he was the best coach. Ain't no way that man's the best coach. Bear Bryant, Rand Kersey had a lot of good coaches up there. They're better than Stoops. And Stoops' record, look at his record against the SEC. And he will never get in the playoffs. Never get in the playoffs as long as he's the coach Kentucky. Louisville's got a lot better chance of getting in the playoff than Stoops. Then you look at these rivalry games, like Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia Tech, Georgia. You never know what's going to happen in a rivalry game. But I've seen it coming too. How many games did they blow? They only played like 2 good games. That was Georgia and Mississippi. That was it. He needs to be gone, and Stoops needs to make the call and get rid of him because he hired a great basketball coach. I never thought in my life as Mark Pope could coach like that. And then the women's coach, Brooks. Why not get rid of Stoops? I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to do it. Thanks for taking my calls.
No, love it. I mean, I totally agree with you, Ryan. I think everything you said. You have a path of, all right, this saves us money. This is what financially seems reasonable, but it ain't good. And you just kind of have to hope and wish and pray.
No, they don't need this
all
pain.
the evidence we have stacked up against us that this football program is and has been moving in the wrong direction. All of a sudden, you snap your fingers and you believe that it's going to change. You can believe that. That's one option. That's option one. Those things. Because, and even if you want to say, TJ, you're being too harsh. That ain't the way that it is. You're being too extreme. No, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Things have been moving in the wrong direction. However, they've been good in some regard. And you think that all of a sudden, the last 3 years aren't an indictment of the future. You snap your fingers, you're going to go closer back to 2021. You're going to go closer back to 2018. That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is reason and rationale that he clearly is moving the wrong direction, very similar to Calipari, as Ryan mentioned, and it ain't the right way. So let's do something different. And that's the thing, Brandon. I get it. $44 million is a lot of money. And if you let me get into like a KSR rant, I will gladly take it for a brief moment. I get that $44 million is a lot of money.
James.
What's more
Appreciate
important?
you being a member
The future
of
of this
channel.
program? We're wasting it. Answer that question, Mr. Barnhart. And again, he'll answer it similar to how he answered it with John Calipari, which was waste time. That was his answer. For what it's worth, for as much credit and crow as I eat with Mark Pope and Mitch Barnhart,
that's the thing.
He wanted Cal to be back. He had decided Cal was going to be.
That's the thing. The sell. He's not even going to have to work as hard to sell anymore. You brought in 2 quarterbacks, you put them in the league. Receivers, you put them in the league. 2 running backs per year. You either put them in the league or made them the top NIL guys. In 2 years, you've changed about 8 real playmakers' trajectory and lives. 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, at least 2 wide receivers. Should have been 3, but got an injury. But you get the point. Like, his sell jobs are going to get easier and easier and easier in the portal. And as freshmen in skill positions because of what he did with Isaac Brown and Duke Watson. That's crazy.
I'm sorry to yell, but he had said Cal is back. Deal with it. Grace, gratitude. Let's start there, Zach Cantrell. He brought him back. And can you imagine if Kentucky was having an Arkansas-like season?
That would be horrible. This fan base would be revolting.
With the football year that we just had, thank God for Mark Pope. But that wasn't a Mitch Barnhart thing. That was a John Calipari thing. John Calipari did a mercy kill and said, I'm out, save you the money. I messed up. I'm going elsewhere. Your taxes, I'm taking everybody with me.
Yeah.
We said, good, cool, fun, yes. And then Mitch hired Mark Pope, and I wasn't thrilled about it, but it's been amazing since the. But look at that, and just see that that's the avenue, and you do that, and we can do it over here with the
that's the conversation. That's the whole
with John
night
Summerall,
show
who's now a hot target for UNC.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up missing out on him if Stoops overstays his welcome here. I think we're going to lose him. And people act like, that would be a program it would be easy to him off from. I don't think so. I think North Carolina could be a sleeping giant there in the ACC. They've always recruited well, and they've got the potential there to really take advantage of a not so strong conference. So if he were to go there, I wouldn't put all my hope in Kentucky can easily go and get him in a couple of years if Stoops stays for that.
No. If he goes and takes another big job, you just kind of
not used to having 2 games off in Jacksonville.
Like if he goes to UNC, you're not able to realistically go steal him from UNC to bring him to Kentucky. It's not impossible, but you're talking first off, huge money. Huge money. It's much easier to stay comfortably at a place that you've established yourself. Look at Signetti at IU.
Yeah,
I mean it's going to take probably 3 jobs to get him, or maybe 6.
Yeah. And if you were in Stoops' shoes right now, why would you want to deal with what's getting ready to happen this offseason? You're going to have the full fan base united in
$44 million.
I mean, the money, I get it. But also, if you're a guy that's already checked out and that you could get a buyout. That's maybe not your $44 million, but if you could get a decent settlement and your heart's not in it, your mind's not in it, and that you're sitting here with the fan base pretty united in wanting to move on to a different coaching staff. And then you also know now that you're going to lose a lot of guys to the transfer portal. You're going to have to rebuild your defense. Your offensive coordinator, you can't go and replace him after you've shuffled coordinators in and out for the last 4 or 5 years. So you're going to have to run it back with the worst offensive coordinator in the SEC this year. There's just so many things that you're going to have to solve and fix, and so many hoops you're going to have to go through. I just don't know. Outside of, you just want your $44 million, what is your motivation to try to fix this? It seems like insurmountable. And when has ever given a coach that is on the decline, maybe a famous athlete that's on the decline, when has ever given them an extra year to get it right ever worked? I can't think of any examples off the top of my head where that has ever worked.
Yeah, and there's probably
one that's ready to go and one you can develop.
A guy that looked like he was on his way out.
I really don't think nobody else.
Were able
that's
to
why they was revolting.
Maybe on the UPS Shops text line, Zach Cantrell, who's just so totally devastated right now, he would be able to provide maybe some insight on that and say, well, that coach.
No, they were ready to do that. Who was it?
But I think that's a really, really good point.
That was going to revolt
not so
when they
much
thought
debate whether or not you think that you believe in Stoops to turn it around, not to turn it around. Is he hungry to do it? I think those things stack up with each other where you just have to have a very obvious and blatant answer to those questions. Move on. He's done. He's not the guy for it. But it just sucks to know that Mitch Barnhart may literally look into his morals and say what he deserves another year.
Yeah.
But it's what he should do. And what it comes down to me is Mark Stoops is not a dummy. He ain't going to say no to $44 million. And this is the worst case scenario, and it's what I think is sadly going to happen. Mitch Barnhart being cheap, because he is, and Mark Stoops not being dumb, because he's not. Sometimes you see him on the field, and you wonder that, but he's not. He ain't going to say no to $44 million. And what you're likely to have happen
Barnhart staying paid.
You cross your fingers for a
get that money.
If you don't get that,
money, coach.
$35 million, somewhere in that ballpark or whatnot. If you don't get that, then you get Stoops saying, I'm going to figure it out. I'm ready. I'm hungry. Everybody buy tickets. I'll do whatever I have to do to sell tickets. And behind the scenes, it is the exact same thing. UK sold tickets this year. Sold out at Kroger Field. The atmospheres, if you were at the game, with the exception of maybe today, but if you were at any of the other ones,
God, our atmosphere was
even
awesome.
the opponent versus the crowd, amazing, incredible, great atmospheres. Even the Murray State game, good atmosphere for the opponent. You ain't getting that next year. And I'm worried that UK is going to lie and sell, and they're going to go to their friends in the media and tell you that, hey, buy tickets,
I would take 10 pounds off Chris Bell.
New
He already
quarterback
got
we
the
have is fun.
attitude.
Not that Mark Stoops is going to totally
he has
ruin any
blazing
offensive
speed.
piece that we may have.
I would
but this
take
one's actually
10
good.
pounds off him.
He's good. You got to trust me here. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it, and I don't want to even deal with it. And even if people buy into it, and then you play an incredibly difficult schedule, which you will in the SEC, and it stinks, we're right back to square one.
Money well spent.
You look at 2026, Brandon, and you say, well, all right, new coach, new momentum, new excitement. Why would we waste time?
Yeah,
let's just do it. Let's just get it going. Let's get it moving.
We've talked about that early in some of these other post-game shows.
We need to raise money.
If this guy's only going to be here for a couple more seasons anyway, why not start now?
We need to raise
why not
money
start
for Kentucky.
this new era of Kentucky football now before he just continues to
really
keep
need
running
to raise money to help them.
Even if he comes back next year with what's going to be a worse roster most likely, and he gets to a bowl game. What is that his last year? Why extend this another year to maybe get back to a bowl game to have a decent season? There's no hope. Like, if you're not aiming for the top, if you're not aiming to make the playoffs, to be a contender to win a national championship, I know it's Kentucky football, but still, if you're a fan, that's what you're aiming for. That's what you want your football program to do. And if the goal is to just let Stoops ride this out until his contract is up to maybe get back to a bowl game to have a little bit of success, what are we doing as a football program? No other football program in the SEC would do that, would just settle for getting to a bowl game, to just settle for mediocrity. Nobody else is doing that. But
do y'all know? Listen, you can go back and finish listening to the Kentucky postgame. I want to tell y'all what's going on in my personal life. Something happened today that I got violated today. And before we close tonight's show, I was planning on talking about it, right? I'm gonna just leave this with y'all really quick before we get out of here. And I want y'all to give me an answer. I got violated today. It was the worst. Dr. Crump, don't go anywhere, because I want you to give me some advice. Dr. Crump, somebody asked me today to borrow my screwdriver. I have a set of meticulous screwdrivers that I keep well cleaned, well oiled, well polished screwdrivers. Can you imagine if somebody wants to borrow your toolkit and just be like, well, I'll just bring it back whenever? And I'm like, wait a minute. You want to borrow my toolkit and just bring it back whenever? James, and it was a woman. A woman tried to borrow my meticulous toolkit. And now I feel bad because I was like, hell no. I don't know what you're going to do with my tools. You obviously don't appreciate the tools because you don't have your own. You just want to borrow my set of tools to go do some silly shit with them? right? Listen, y'all, I had a terrible incident today. You want to take home and what? Take the what and leave the what? Right? Are you kidding me? Oh, well, I gotta take these and I gotta help fix something for my mom, and then I'll just bring them by. You know, I'll leave them on your doorstep next week. And what? You want to take my tools because you need to help fix something for your mother? And you want to just bring them back whenever? Are you insane? Phillips, you getting ready to strip my meticulous screwdrivers, my meticulous Phillips screwdriver heads. They have a glass case to them. I keep a magnet on the back of the case to make sure they don't shift. You want a what? And then ain't gonna put my tools back in the right place. I mean, oh my God. And I feel bad because they don't understand that they violated me by asking to borrow my tools. Super violated. Right? Now I want y'all to spend the rest of the night, and then when I see y'all tomorrow night or Monday night, think about that and tell me, did you agree with me, or am I still just toxic? You want to borrow my tools, my Phillips, that got me worked up again. Oh, where's my drink at?